what would be kind of the proper mindset in order to build that rapport with a client then? I know that you mentioned LinkedIn was the first place where you got a client, and lo and behold, that was the first place where I got my first high-end paying client through cold messaging, was through LinkedIn as well. LinkedIn is just like a gold mine. If you know how to use LinkedIn, then like LinkedIn is literally like a gold mine.
100%.
There's like so much money on LinkedIn. And it's just all about kind of like seeing like if people are there for a professional environment and stuff. It's a very different like mindset on LinkedIn. So do you want to take us back a little bit and just talk a bit more about the mindset that you have in order to build those relationships with those clients? Because so many people just go in and try to cold message people and just and they don't try to build rapport or anything like that. And then they're like, oh, why are these people mean to me, or why aren't they answering me, or whatever. So is there any advice that you would like to give that in order to build rapport with anyone, either cold messaging or actually physically talking to someone in person or over the phone?
Definitely. So I always, the thing that I would do at the beginning, now you can't always do the same thing, right? Because you kind of lose that oomph that you have with people. So when I first started off, it would always just be like, hey, can you answer this question for me? And then I would just have them respond to me. I think that was one of the first things that I would focus on, is just trying to get a response from the lead that you're trying to basically close at the end of the day. And then another thing that now I even use is my first, let's say, piece of contact or whatever it is that I'm going to be talking to them about at first, I always make sure that it's not really sales related. It's just related to them. So wonderful thing about LinkedIn and even Facebook and all those social media platforms is you can see what articles they're sharing, what accomplishments they've had, what kind of volunteer experience they've had, and all of those things that you can literally use and sculpt into your first message to them. So be like, hey, Mike, I love that you, saved cats I don't know, like, I love that you basically had a forum talking about women empowerment, or you had this event, and basically strike up a conversation related to a topic that they're passionate about and that maybe you're even interested in as well. And, obviously I'm not saying manipulate them or be fake, but at least just strike up a conversation like you would with a stranger at a bar. If they're wearing a nice shirt, if they're talking about business, if they're a speaker, you want to talk about those things, right? So it's kind of the same thing when it comes to building rapport with a business owner or in the niche that you're in. So that was kind of the first thing in terms of technique that I would use before even building a relationship with them and having that mindset when I would want to close them. And the mindset that I always had as well, and I still have today, when I'm trying to, let's say, develop a relationship with a potential client or build rapport or whatever it is that I'm trying to do, is I act as if, like you said, you don't want to be desperate, right? It's really about, it's a give and take. It's not like I'm trying to sell you something for my sake. It's like I'm doing you a favor by giving you information about this. So my friend, who is now a mortgage broker, he just sent me a post today. It's the first time that he's trying to sell himself, and he's doing all those things. So he tells me, "Is this good that I posted a story about, there was a quote like, don't be the rent guy, like be the landlord," or I don't even know what it was, but he was just saying, like, if you guys need help, contact me, I'll give you a good deal on your mortgage. And he's like, is this too pushy? Like, am I being too forward about the service that I'm offering? And I'm like, there is no such thing about being too pushy or giving people too much information about the service that you have to offer, how you're going to help them. You're actually doing them a favor by giving them that information. I'm like, if you think of it that way, nobody's going to see it in a negative light unless they're actually a hater, a troll, right? Those are the only people who are actually going to, make a comment like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he's telling me to contact him for my mortgage. Who would think that? It's like, no, this guy is actually trying to help me land a better deal for my house, right? So it's the same concept when it comes to reaching out to people. You're giving them information because you're not thinking about the money that you're going to make out of it. You're thinking about how they're going to better their business thanks to you. So yeah, that's how you should frame it. It's all about that reframe. Again, like that's the mindset that you have to have.
Yeah, love it. Yeah.